here's an interesting object. It's what I suspect it's a spinner probably, but it's part of this year's Christmas pack. Let's see what this does. It's got these 3 axes, so let's try the black one. Yeah, that works. Oh, there's a green one as well. Let's try that one. Oh, that's right. Now let's try the red one. Oh, it's changed just like that to black. Why did they do that? It's magic, I suppose. Anyway, a spinning top, which is something very magical about it. Here's something which is creating a lot of interest amongst some mathematical people, friends. It's got a very grand name to it too. It's made of pieces with a very odd shape. You can call it an Einstein shape at one time or other. The pieces are all the same shape precisely. They could fit on top of each other. There's no difference between them. But now it's got a glorious name, which is, goodness me, it's a mouthful, this. It's aperiodic monotile. Is any wiser? I'm not. The idea is to fit them together. There's endless ways of putting them together. It doesn't matter, as long as it makes a complete, level, flat piece of it. So there's no air gaps in between it. No air gaps. And then just find simple ways of putting it together. And you'll find that somehow, magically, they all do fit in any order. So it's a very, very interesting, something like that's been out for years, but never down to this level of perfection. So I'm very pleased to have one of those. My mathematical friends are going a bit crazy about it. This is another one from Caspar Schwaber. It's an update of something he's made several years ago. It's got a rather pretty little gold string. What's nice about this is a little kaleidoscope he invented. Very pretty little thing, because it's got aluminium inside, which is all mirror aluminium. It's mirror quality. You put it together, and it'll be assembled when I put that piece in. And then when it's assembled, you can actually hang that. There's a little hook there with that silver piece on a Christmas tree. And this one, unlike normal kaleidoscopes where you look through the narrow end and then something there, this one you don't do that. You look through that end. So very pretty things there. And if you look at the Christmas tree branches when you got it on a Christmas tree, you're looking at it like that, and it's a very, very beautiful sight to see what those triangulations do when you've got little holes as well. It's absolutely charming. It's a very, very pretty effect. It'll look even better with some colour in it for Christmas trees. So hang it from that, which again is something that's never been done before, and it'll be a lovely little addition to your Christmas tree scenario. This is the most interesting one. It's a kit which makes one of these. And the kit comes in a packet like that. You've got to assemble it, which takes very little time, in fact. And then you set a catapult, they call it. This is something invented in the Middle Ages for throwing, great big balls, heavy balls of metal, cannonballs at fortresses and walls of castles and things. And for a little ball, they've got these 2 little pieces, because they're trying to use up all the wood. That little thing there is supposed to be the cannonball. It's just down here. I'll make up 2 and fire them out. The actual mechanism for creating a bit of tension in there is that little tiny bit of spring steel or spring, some formation there, and it flips up quite strongly. So what you have to do is you have to find that on the back there's a little hook, and it's going to be fitted into here, and that's going to come into down that. Slide it into there. Let's turn it around here. This is loading up the catapult. I can get it in. There we are. Ah, it's charged. It's ready to fly. These little pieces, falling out again. The ball's falling apart. There we are, like that. Put it just in there, like that. That's going to fly out. I'll get the other piece so I can do 2. I'm firing at you. I hope you're going to duck. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, fire. Oh goodness, and it's splintered as well. What fun. Let's try it one more time. Extraordinary. The kit is really a very nice and elaborate and very well designed one. I'm very pleased to have one of these now in my own collection. Here we go. Fire 2. Oh, goodness me. That's split up. So that's going to be a great little item. It's all the fun of the pleasure of anticipation, because you're building it up to make it work like that. This is a charming idea. It's one of those little puzzle boxes where you've got a ball bearing moving around inside. You have to get the ball bearing in such a place that it will release the puzzle, which is take this bit off. What you have inside is a £10 note, for instance. This will be entrapped inside by pushing the thing, and you send it to your friend saying, I'm sending you some money for Christmas, but you've got to get to it. Poor thing. So they have to solve the puzzle before they can get their tenner. They can't hand that in the shop because the shopkeeper said you can't use it, it won't fit in the till. So that's a very nice little double thing. They get a £10 note as a present, and they get a very clever little, you can get a card, a playing card in there, or a note, or anything you like really. It comes in a nice box, and it's a very charming idea. This is something, I think I played with this idea many years ago in my children's party days. This has got one of those, a siren, or if you blow out or pull, goes both ways, so we make use of that. You only need 2 balloons, there's a spare one because balloons always burst, don't they? And stretch it a few times like that, and you get the stretch, and you get that bit stretched. And then to assemble it, you put that on there like that. There's a little ridge there which holds it and stops it flying off in the air, otherwise you continually let it go. So I'm going to blow this up through here and then pinch it to stop it deflating. It's about, I think in instructions we say about 6, 7 or 8 inches. Now, you twist that like that, or twists to stop it deflating, and then you've got to hold it between the 2 end fingers, the little finger and the one beside it. These fingers are all free to help you with the second bit, which is blowing this up directly till it's the same size, about that. And finally, twist that again just temporarily so that you can get this on without the thing all deflating, and get it on there if you can. Put it over there, and you work your way up this to the halfway point where there's a slight widening of the siren, about there. And you're ready. All you've got to do is let this slowly unwrap, untwist. Oh, I heard a bit of a gush of air. Then one's louder than the other, isn't it? Very nice little party piece to play with. And children love the idea of grabbing balloons. And push it right the way down so it goes to there. And then, yes, that's a lovely piece, a party piece to play with. Leave them there because it's very colourful. Ooh, put them there. Now, we've got my mug. Well, you don't get the mug, but you do get this extraordinary optical effect, which is called mirror mugs. This is a bit of mirror paper, and it points out that mirrors reverse writing, makes it look like a mirror writing backwards, but not if they're in a mug. Why is that? Well, I'll show you the thing and I'll explain it. You put that into there, you put this into here, you shove it in, and can we get that in the camera? And it's got the words mirror writing, it appears backwards, of course, mirror form, but not in the mirror mug. So what's going on there? Well, it's very simple. When a mirror, which is flat like that, it behaves quite normally, and if you looked into a reflection with some words to look down on it, it will appear as mirror writing. When it's curved like that, it re-reverses the writing, so it's the right way round. And it shows very well, but except the mug's not included, of course. That's one of my mugs. But it does make that a lovely effect, all done with the curvature of a mirror, something I hadn't come across until a few years ago. So very pleased to see that in one. Then it's got the levitator. This is a charming piece. It's magnets and things. It comes like that with 3 pieces. This has got magnets in here, that's got magnets in there. This is needed for the end, because if you put that in there with the magnets pushing it around like that, it leaps out. If you put it on a little wall, and against that wall, the little tiny end piece will do a lovely little spin, because it's got almost no friction. There we are. We'll put it in a bit carelessly. It might come out and go that way. If you get it exactly in the right position, now you can wiggle it up and down like that to show the magnetic force battling with gravity force. And rather interesting, you can make it spin quite nicely, and it waggles up and down. It's getting two lots of motion, and you can do a bit of that as well. So it's a lovely use of magnetic distraction, or putting out, and creating a thrilling thing to go with it. It goes very nicely indeed. The levitator has been out for some time, but it's a brilliant little toy. It's been developed in other versions as well, so I'm very pleased to see that now. This is the Tower Hanoi, they call it. But the idea, it's a puzzle you've got to work out. It doesn't take very long to do either. What you have to do is to move that stack from there onto there. But here's the two little rules. One is you've got to have one at a time only, not two, not three, but only one piece go across. That's the first bit. But you're not allowed to place this here on top, because it's larger than that. So those are the only rules. You've got to move them one at a time, and always make sure that the one going on is smaller than the one underneath. So in this case, if I did that there, which is quite allowed, because that's this little parking place, that can then go on there, all on there, in fact. And in fact, if you put that on there, this is the next few moves. That goes to there, that goes to there, and you're halfway there probably. You've got to get them in the right order. So one at a time only. Start with the stack, move it from there to there, and make sure you obey the rule of don't put a bigger on a smaller piece of wood. Then we've got an extraordinary thing here. It's a puzzle where you've got to use these pieces and make a letter T. And there's a solution in there, so if you despair. But you've got to make the letter T, one of those things like that. We're using all the pieces, something like that, but it's a misdirection, so don't pay too much attention. So I'm going to make a start and see if I can, one more piece needed. See if I can make any progress with this, because it's a tricky little thing. I have seen it done once, but it was quite a tricky thing to do. And I'm going to just, if you don't mind hanging about a bit, I'm going to have a go. I think it might be a bit of time actually, so perhaps you better go get yourself a cup of tea. But I'm going to try and find if I can make a letter T out of that. So plenty to do on this year's Christmas pack, and I think it'll keep you busy well into January. Well, I hope so.